the previous videos, we have mentioned about different types of title, which will give you different outcomes in terms of the citation rate. These include the descriptive, declarative, and question type titles. We also mentioned that the question type title normally use lower degree of citation rate in comparison to the descriptive and declarative type of title. And the declarative title will give you higher citation rate as compared to declarative title, although the citation rates are similar. This slide demonstrates to you different types of title. First, let us look at the declarative title. This kind of title normally provides information of the topics to be covered, including the main findings and conclusion. That means it provides information regarding what they did and what they found from the research. This is an example of declarative title, where you can see the outcome of the research is being clearly indicated within the title statement. Next, we look at the descriptive title. This title only describes the subject of the paper without reviewing the main outcome or conclusions of the study. The author leaves it to the reader to find the outcome and conclusions from their papers instead of having it stated in the title. This is an example of the descriptive title. The third type of title will be question type title, or it is termed as the interrogative title. This type of title indicates the subject of the paper in the form of a question. This is an example of the question type title. And normally the questions is stated in the manner that triggering your interest in terms of their findings of the research. That means the questions are implying the outcome of the research, or at least outlining the scope of the research. In fact, you can construct your titles based on all these three types. Personally, I construct the descriptive title more often. Very seldom I choose to construct my titles in terms of the question form due to some limitations of the nature of the title. You see, the question type title normally implies the outcomes of the study. It will be useful for those who are seeking for answer in a specific field of study, but it may not be as useful for the researcher searching for a group of articles which is related to their fields of study. The reason is this type of title provides limited information regarding the scope and topic of study. Even though those are provided within the title, they are not detailed enough for the researchers to quickly identify whether their papers are related to their studies. Personally, I feel that descriptive title is easier to construct as compared to the declarative title, as you need to precisely identify the key conclusions of that particular study and clearly stating it within minimum amount of words. Normally, the journals, papers, and theses, they have limits in terms of the numbers of words allowable for a title. Having the main conclusions or outcome being stated within the title, that leads to less amount of words that you can use to describe the topics that you are discussing. Again, you will need to choose the critical descriptions regarding the topic that you have studied, and your titles need to be impactful in terms of the conclusions and also the topics that you covered. In fact, if you do the declarative title right, I feel it is okay, as it gives the reader more information regarding the paper and the reader can quickly get the main point of your study. However, due to my personal limitations, I opt for the descriptive title. As you know, the research topics are normally quite niche. Even within the same topics, there are various ways to conduct the research, and the scope may differ from the researcher to researcher. Therefore, normally I will choose to use the allowable word limits to cover those as possible. This includes what the research paper is about, what are the scope or the focus of the study, probably the methods to be used, and what is actually being studied. So that is my personal case. It will be up to you to choose the one which you feel is more appropriate to your situations. I will not position myself stating which one is better than the other one. Just that personally, I am more comfortable with the descriptive type of title.